Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video where we talk about levels and see whether or not we like them. And today's video topic is about good levels with bad songs. Pretty self-explanatory when there's a level that you quite like, whether from a gameplay or decoration standpoint. However, when it comes to the song choice, it's not your cup of tea. I have actually done this video before, but I wanted to see what you guys have to offer. As usual, I made a community post asking you guys for some suggestions. But before we go with your examples, let me share one of mine first, which was Retro Circles. Retro Circles is probably one of my favorite 9 Circles levels. Sure, the retro theming isn't like new, but like the way it's implemented in this level is like really cool. First off, I love the inclusion of the CRT effect. It just fits so well into the level. Not only that, I really love the like wireframe look in this level. It's simple, but like it fits the level so well. And the gimmicks on the wave part, it is so cool. And the best part is it doesn't like hinder with the gameplay. Despite giving you like an invisible speed change from fast to slow, you'll still have a fun time playing it. And that part where the level just buffers just perfect. However, I never liked this remix of 9 Circles. I've said this multiple times, but Extruller has always been a hit or miss artist for me. And this one is an example of a miss. The main culprit on why I don't like this remix as much as the original are the random distortions within the drops. It just feels like it was slapped hastily throughout the song, and as a result, it just kind of sounds messy in a way. The only part I like in this song is when one part gets like overly dramatic for like no reason. But as a whole, I think this song is a bit of a downgrade from the original. Especially since 9 Circles is probably, in my opinion, one of the better songs in Ruckus's catalog. But with that out of the way, let's see what you guys have to offer. Dissonance, like how did no one mention this level is so good? The deco is almost perfect, but the song just gives me a headache. Okay, so I actually just saw this level like yesterday, and yeah, Dissonance is really cool. If there's one way to describe what Dissonance is, it's probably one of the best showcases of 2.2 effects, without being too overly flashy like some art levels that we have right now. Not saying those levels are bad, it's just that this level has like a pretty nice balance of it. The only other level, in my opinion, that gave this kind of feeling is Cut Deep by Audiovisual, but Dissonance I think is slightly better. I especially really like the contrasting of dark and light, and the effects are used pretty effectively in here. Not too over the top, but also not too subtle. In a way, it's almost kind of atmospheric. The song choice, I'm actually kind of mixed with this one. While yes, at first glance, this song is pretty ear-grating, and will probably turn off a lot of people because of it. However, the more I listen to it, it actually kind of reminds me of an artist that I'm actually quite fond of currently, which is Clipping. They don't do it all the time, but sometimes they do this ear-grating noise in their instrumentals that I actually kind of like, because it kind of matches the intense energy of the rapper's voice.
The fuck is you thinking? Better yet, where the fuck is you going? Get factor, no star mapping out here, nobody. The avenue we're talking to themselves. Somebody been selling them dreams again. Breathe again, the breeze is full of trees again.
And while Dissonance is a more calm level, this song kind of represents it in a way, even with the ear-grating noise. Especially with like the vocals in the background, kind of harmonizing with the song. But I can still see how it gets annoying at one point in time. So in conclusion, I think Dissonance is an absolutely banger level. The song choice, I'm still mixed about it, but it'll probably grow on me over time. Omega Interface by Platinu. The level itself is a pretty good sequel to Delta Interface, but the part of the song used is so bad it doesn't even have a melody until the very end, and the dubstep sounds used just don't sound good in my opinion. Yeah, dude, okay, Omega Interface is such a cool level. Like, it's edgy, but unlike something like Super Hate Me World, it's edgy but also like really cool. From the color scheme to the block design, even with some of the effects like the constant flashing of some images, they all feel like they have some sort of purpose being put there. It's edge with a purpose. And instead of looking like the level was made by a 15-year-old who thinks Sonic.exe is peak fiction, the level looks really cool and intimidating. Like it feels like it weren't supposed to be here, yet you press through anyways. Especially with the final part with all the eyes in the background. Like that part looks really cool. It gives me the chills in like a good way. And I just gotta mention the end screen. The end screen is so good. It's probably one of my favorite end screens in Geometry Dash. It's just so perfectly executed. Overall, this level is just really cool. The songs sound like farts. At least the part that was used, because the part that was in the end screen actually kind of does pick up a bit. The songs sound like someone farted into a mic, gave it a beat, pitched it up in one part, and then ditched the fart idea until the very end of the part that was used in this level. It just sounds really goofy in my opinion. In fact, the more I think about it, I think dubstep is just a goofy genre. It doesn't hold the level down all that much, but like it is noticeably the weakest aspect in like the whole level. I'm sure the full song is a lot better, but for the part that was used in Omega Interface, it's not for me. Renovven, okay, the level itself I found it pretty good, not my favorite on the Dedication series, but overall pretty good. However, the song is interesting. Don't get me wrong, I love The Living Tombstone, but this one is specific in a weird case. I don't hate the song, but I don't like it, you know? Okay, so I'm actually the exact opposite of this. I think Renovven is a bit of an underwhelming level, especially compared to the others in the Dedication series. And I think the main reason why I say that is because of how muted the level feels compared to the others. Dedication and Allegiance have like so much life into them with all of the rainbow colors that was used. And while Allegiance kind of toned it down a bit, Renovven felt like it got stripped out of its color despite still being a somewhat rainbow themed level. I also just think it's a bit too dark with all the shadows present. I know Allegiance does it, but like Renovven does it a bit too much. Also, why is it called Renovven and not Revenant? Was that on purpose or was that just a genuine spelling mistake? However, the song is pretty catchy. It's a remix of an old song, kinda like Spooky Scary Skeletons. But the way The Living Tombstones interpolates it in his own style, I actually think it's pretty effective. It has those like signature The Living Tombstone weird vocal stuff. But as time passes by, I actually learned to kind of love it in a way. I think it's not only unique, but it's also like really catchy. And I also really like the inclusion of Corpse Husband in this song. I think it fits pretty well, even if in the level we only hear like 3 seconds of him. And not to mention, the beginning has a pretty great setup on what's to come. So yeah, I actually disagree with you in this one. I think Renovven is one of the more underwhelming levels in the Dedication series, but I actually think this song is one of the better ones used in the Dedication series. Crackhead Circles. It's a fun level and it's a 9 circles level and yet manages to have a pretty unique concept for the decoration and gameplay. It is pretty unbalanced, but when you take into account that it's a list demon and basically no list demons are balanced, it isn't that bad. The song is terrible though. The start of it is so bad that I'd rather have this song be someone scratching a metal plate with a metal fork. The drop gets a tiny bit better, but when you take into account that you'll play the pre-drop the most from 0, it makes it so much worse. Man, this kind of sucks for me. Let's talk about the level first. It's a cool 9 circles level. I was kind of expecting to kind of dislike this level because from my experience, Rainbow 9 circles level just kind of don't hit for some reason. But the way Crackhead Circles used its decoration style, it's a pretty fun watch. It's very chaotic and feels like you're on drugs, which I guess fits really well considering the name of the level. It's like an LSD trip. Yeah, overall just really cool Rainbow 9 circles level. Happy Pride Month. Let's talk about Lil Darky. I used to be a big fan of Lil Darky, and by big fan I meant I liked his song rap music. But once I listened back to some Lil Darky songs, I realized he wasn't like for me personally. At least the ones in like his earlier catalog. But the problem is not really with Lil Darky himself. I think it's more so with his choice of production. And the one used in Crackhead Circles is like the best example of this. Drink my piss, you know. Alright, I'm not reading that. You guys can read it yourself. It's probably my least favorite Lil Darky song from what I've heard. It's just the fact that the production is just like really not good. It's like weird in a bad way. How do I say this? It almost sounds like those beats you find on YouTube that was made bad on purpose, just with like a slight polish. And Lil Darky isn't in his best form too in this song. He doesn't sound bad, but at the beginning he doesn't sound good, but thankfully it kind of picks up later on. So yeah, Crackhead Circles, pretty cool level. This song leaves a lot to be desired. Hatred, the song's just too goofy for a slow, grim, grey level like this. Yeah, this is like my perfect example of bad songs in a good level. Hatred, while not being like my favorite level ever, has a certain aura around it. There's a lot of things I really like about the level. The main one being the background that was used. I really like this sort of abandoned city look it has to it. And for the time that it was made, it was really like unique. I also really like the decoration in this level. In like a way, it feels like a sort of woogie style decoration, but like strip half of the life away, which sounds bad on paper, but for a level like this, it fits pretty well. It makes the level more grim and intimidating. And the gameplay's not half bad too. I tried it and it's kind of like Acropolis in a way, which makes sense because from what I've heard, this level is kind of inspired by Acropolis. But man, I can't take Hate Everything seriously, dude. It's such a goofy song for such an like edgy title. You'd think for a song called Hate Everything, it'll sound like a more slow or dark sounding song. But no, it actually kind of sounds upbeat in a way. Especially later on in the song at the end of the level where a guitar is introduced in the mix. Like dude, I can't take this song seriously. It's to a point where it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. The song is so bad that I can't stop listening to it. This level is definitely my de facto of good level but bad song.
I hate everything.
Dorabae Basic 12, what the hell happened in Ruckus's head to think Sine Wave was good? At the beginning, it's a 2016 YouTube intro music, then the drop. It is a sample that feels like they were chosen by luck. The level itself is great, considering it was made in very early 2.0. There are definitely some odd picks in the block design, and some of the moving objects kinda suck, but at least it isn't moving trigger galore. Also, it isn't very basic compared to other Dorabae Basics, making it feel less empty. The Dorabae Basic series is a pretty interesting set of levels. If I had to describe it, it's probably like a showcase of the creator's evolution. Especially with levels like Dorabae Basic 4 and 7, which has like pretty cool effects for the time. Dorabae Basic 12 is definitely no exception for this. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely an interesting look into the creator's mindset with how they utilize the moving objects. And the effects are actually used in a pretty cool way, especially compared to the others in early 2.0. It's definitely one of the most interesting one in the Dorabae Basic series. And you know what? Fuck you. Sine Waves is the best Ruckus song. Does it sound goofy? Yes. But I have no further arguments. It's not even a guilty pleasure. I just genuinely love this song for some reason. And I think the main reason on why I like it so much is because it's kind of different from the other dubstep Ruckus song. So like so many Ruckus songs just sounds the same. But Sine Waves is a nice change of pace. Even if it sounds a bit goofy, I love it. It's definitely one of his best songs in my opinion. Probably Tantrum. The deco looks pretty cool to me, and although the gameplay isn't the best, it's still somewhat fun. However, the song is so goddamn bad that I don't even want to play it. Yeah, Tantrum is pretty cool. Overall, I just think Dance Man has some pretty quality levels. He's definitely one of my favorite creators from like the early to mid era of 2.1. Not only do I really like his decoration style, but his gameplay is just like really fun. Slap Squats 2, Scream, God Eater, OMG Aliens. Like really fun levels. Tantrum is no exception. Even though I haven't beat it, I had a fun time doing some runs over it. The song, I will say, is kind of lacking. It just kind of sounds like someone's first attempt at making EDM music. And you know what, if it is, keep going. I think you have potential. So the artist probably has like more songs now, so I don't know. Conk by Sir Hadoken, one of my favorites of all time, which makes it more unfortunate that it's basically forgotten. Despite the song working in tandem with the level really well, with the cutting out and repeats, the song itself is really bad. Yeah, Conk is a pretty cool level. It's like a memory level that's also a compilation of other levels. And due to it being a memory level, it has this like broken feeling to it with you going through some of the blocks. It's not like the most unique concept ever, but the way it's executed, it's actually pretty nice. This song has grown out of me over time though. This was in a weird era where the Living Tombstone has this like red and blue version of each song. Like the red version is like the more messed up version, while the blue version is like the more happy version. This song specifically is the red version of the song Squid Melody, which was used in Dedication and Melody. And the thing is, I used to like the red version more just because it sounds edgier and it made me feel cool. But the more I listened to it, the more I realized that the blue version just has a lot more charm. And the red version just feels like an unnecessary dark remix of it. So yeah, overall, cool level, not so cool song. And well, that's the end of the video. Do you guys want a sequel to this video specifically? Let me know in the comments below and I'll make another community post with this topic. And if you want to participate in this type of video, make sure to subscribe since I make a community post like this from time to time. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since I'm trying to hit 6K by the end of the year. Oh, and if you want to support me even further, you can check out my Region where you can commission a headshot, half body, full body, a banner, or a thumbnail. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.